Well, the race to Alaska is a terrible idea. That's what it says right on the website. It's a 750-mile engineless race from Port Townsend, Washington to Ketchikan, Alaska. All kinds of craft, just has to be human-powered or wind-powered or both. You just cannot have an engine. The thought of taking on this race course in an engineless vessel, it's a big risk. It's a dangerous place. The Inside Passage has tremendous tide and current. The weather forecasting isn't great up there, so you don't have a lot of information. But then when you take the auxiliary power, when you take the engine off the sailboat, everything changes.
It's very real that you're embarking upon something that is dangerous. Nature will put you where it wants to. When you get to Seymour Narrows, if you proceed beyond there, their capacity to respond diminishes hugely.
These are difficult areas. When you get to Campbell River, the game changes. Don't let your guard down.
Doing Race to Alaska has been a big goal of mine pretty much since I found out that it was a thing that you could do. This boat did the Race to Alaska in 2016, actually, as Team Fly with the previous owner.
Mahana's a pedigree race boat. This thing's been around. She's seen some days out. The first time I drove this boat, it blew my mind. How powerful it is.
It doesn't heel over. It just goes faster.
It's just the perfect boat for what we're doing, and it holds a self-propulsion mechanism quite well. Make sure those dock lines are tight. Yeah, whoa, whoa. 5 on the bow and 1 in your hearts, folks. You know, we're Team Dog Smile Adventures to promote the program. The Race to Alaska has such a wholesome vibe. That's what drew me to it. Everyone's welcome. Come as you are. Bring whatever boat you've got and give it a go. One winner, no classes. I love that, and that's what drew me in, and that I think connects with our mission of everyone should get to go sailing.
Yeah, safe travels, guys.
We don't have the fastest boat in the race. We don't have the most skilled crew in the race. And we know that. I mean, so why do we seem to hang? Why do we do well? Is because we work harder, I think, than other boats. We push hard.
Let's take enough people that we can run shift schedules, that we have people that are fresh enough to sail the boat hard, and let's go out and just try hard the whole time. It's just really fun to sail that way.
Gabe's a great leader. He has the authority, he is the final say, but also makes sure everybody's got a voice. You can tell that man walks into burning buildings with people and has to execute. So, I mean, he's a great yacht skipper. Kilmer's like the $100 million free agent. He rolls in and he's already the best player on the team. We can't do it without him. We're undeniably faster when he's there. And Dave has this way of bringing the peace. He brings calm.
I feel very grateful to be a part of this team and everybody coming with their own set of talents, skill levels.
I just think it's going to be great. It's going to be miserable. It's going to be cold. We're going to be wet. We're going to stink. And it's going to be awesome.
Next to us on one side are professional sailboat racers from Europe, top of the game. And next to them is a guy who built a kayak/sailboat in his garage. And then there's these 4 dudes from Idaho, somewhere in the middle, and we're all at the same party. It was very affirming. Wow, we're here. We're amongst this incredibly eclectic group of people.
Don't do dumb stuff, don't get eaten, and have fun. It's so much fun. You guys have a great community and tap into it.
At the crack of dawn, we'll start off through what they call the proving ground, which is a sort of a qualifying leg from Port Townsend to Victoria.
Here we go.
Let's go to Canada.
It's a funny thing because there's 2 starts to this race. I never done anything like that, with the Ukrainian anthem playing and the moon rising over Seattle. Like, it was just this intensely awesome thing. And then 6 hours later, we're in Victoria for like 4 days. Oh, good, I just crossed the border. The layover in Victoria was great. We got to know all the other sailors. We got to hang out and make friends, and it was very affirming. Wow, we're here. We're amongst this incredibly eclectic group of people.
We're gonna stick our nose out and see which way the wind and tide blows us. Go fast, go north.
Yes. People around the world are watching you, as you watched those before you. And you're inspiring the next class, the next cohort of racers to do something that they're not sure they can do. I know a lot of you aren't sure you can do what you're about to do. But we believe in you. All of the people who are watching the stream are believing in you. And you're going to inspire them maybe not to sail, maybe not to row, but they're going to engage with something that they're not sure they can do. And that's why you're here. So we cheer you on as you've been cheering each other on. And we're going to start this thing in about 4 minutes. 3, 2, 1.
Little hard, little fast.
Coming on. 700 miles. Here we go. All right, I'm on the beam right now.
Nice. Nice, here we go. There it is. There it is.
Right there, baby.
Grind on, grind on, grind on. Go, go, go. Good. Pesty's banging that shore. Rough duck's going inside. Our competitors are going left.
We are currently leading the race. We are on a screaming reach doing what Bahana is built to do. Hauling ass, off the wind. This is about as good as sailing gets. Real nice. Day 1, we were in the lead of the race, going 18 knots, surfing waves, downwind with our hair on fire. Like, that's as fast as I've ever gone on that try. We were hauling ass. It was awesome.
Going north up Harrow Strait under Spinnaker, we were surfing down waves, stuff in the bows. That was super fun.
You can see where we're going to turn here. Yeah. That is the exit.
Yeah, that's the turn up.
Yep, that's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock is
awesome.
where we're trying to go.
Well, we committed, boys. We're doing it. The racetrack currently holds 3rd place, but we chose our side of the course and our opponents chose the other. So there's a big split happening right now. Our opponents decided to go to the west through Active Pass. We chose to take a direct route through the San Juan Islands to try to find more wind. So we're banking on a forecast. Who knows? Right now they have a mileage advantage, but we have a forecast advantage, I would say, right now. We've got current in our favor, breeze coming, so I think we went the right way.
What time is it, Gabe?
Screechy time.
Okay, is that your favorite time?
Right now it is.
Huge move on the competition there, guys. Nice job.
Morning, it's 8 a.m., day 2. We're about 4 or 5 miles behind the leaders, so not bad. Everyone's trying to make the tide gate at Seymour Narrows. It's not looking like we're gonna make it right now, which means we may have a massive compression in the fleet, which is to our advantage. So I think we're gonna catch these guys and get another chance to go by them. Morning, Gabe.
Good morning.
Morning, Jay. How's it going?
I slept surprisingly well considering we were bashing through the waves, 14 knots, water coming into the cockpit. Down having happy dreams.
Freeze-dried gnocchi. It looks like something off the surface of Mars. Oh yeah.
Dude, look at those mountains. Did you see these, Johnny? Some serious peaks over there, huh? 5 knots. Let's chase down some boats.
We can pretty much see everybody ahead of us, which is good. If we can see them, we can get them.
Beautiful light drizzle. Just enough wind to keep the boat moving. So we're chasing right up there. Little grouping. Haven't quite been able to get a hold of them all day, but we're gonna make it happen. If nobody makes the pass, then almost the entire fleet is gonna catch up in the next 6 hours, and we're basically just gonna have a great big restart, which would be kind of fun, actually. Unless, you know, of course, we can be the one boat that makes it, in which case that would be more fun. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Team Dog Smile at about 1:30 in the morning. We just rolled through Seymour Narrows. Came into Discovery Pass a little late. We pedaled our guts out and were only able to make it about halfway up Discovery Pass before we started going backwards and had to anchor. We talked about getting up to the mouth of Seymour and anchoring and waiting for slack, but we decided that we could get through with about 8 knots of current going north, going our way, and that likely trying to anchor at the mouth of Seymour in the dark was probably sketchier than just running it. John's done some river guiding. We put him on the tiller, put Jay and I on the pedal drives to maintain steerage, and David on navigation, and ran Seymour at 1 o'clock in the morning in the pitch dark, which was pretty awesome. Actually, really not that big a deal as it turns out. I don't know if we just got lucky or what, but yeah, lifetime experience.
Through the Seymour Narrows at 1 a.m. in the rain in 10 knots of flood current. Felt like walking through a haunted house with a blindfold on. It was super intense, but also kind of rad.
At one point we had to pedal really hard because the boat all of a sudden got pitched over about 100 degrees and it must have hit some sort of whirlpool or something, but we'll just keep it in the middle. How hard can it be? And it worked out great. Now, I don't know, maybe I'll go through it in daylight someday and be like, oh geez.
Skipper finally getting some hard-earned Z's after a hard-fought battle through the Seymour Narrows. Now plenty of places to hide in the Johnstone Strait.
The Johnstone Strait was really brutal. It was blowing so hard straight down the pipe of that thing, and we just felt like the boat was going too fast, like we were just pounding the heck out of it. So we had to pull in and change sails. We had to put up a storm jib and so on and try to make it work.
So there's our storm jib, which has not been out of the box much heretofore. There's our reef main. Good system.
This is the race to Alaska I signed up for. Today has been the hardest day I've ever had on a sailboat. This is hard and it's wet and it's cold and it's awesome.
Trying yet again to have a cup of coffee, so I'm pretty sure shit's gonna hit the fan any minute now because I haven't finished a cup yet. And
Our sail plan right now is the survival reef that I had Taylor build into this thing. It's a second reef that's about twice as deep as a normal second reef. It's paying off big time for us. And then full jib We went down to storm jib earlier, but it cut our horsepower too much. Just couldn't quite push it, so back to full jib and real deep second reef. It's a game changer for us. There's a couple boats that are probably rounding Cape Caution in that sunshine right now, which sounds like a lot of fun, but we're just not quite up there, so we'll get there.
Sunrise at sea. Cruising along about 5-6 knots of boat speed. Happy to see the sun after a cold night.
Really like the feel of the sun right now.
Oh, how's the breakfast hash?
Delicioso. Very nice. Tater tot casserole.
Eating and pedaling at the same time. We're just coming off a pretty rough pedal session, trying to get around Cape Caution of all places. We were told this was potentially the most dangerous part of the race course. It's turned to be only dangerous to our attitudes.
Good morning.
Any reasonable cruiser would what?
Use the engine. 15 minutes ago, we were considering throwing ourselves into the sea.
We've learned to persevere, and the wind comes back, and so just filled back in. We're pop right up to 7 knots over the water, and all of a sudden everybody feels better. It's pretty incredible to be on the emotional roller coaster of the race to Alaska.
Out here in the Pacific, finishing up our rounding of Cape Caution, headed for Calvert Island. The sun came out and it's a beautiful day now, a little wavy, but yeah, great day for sailing across Cape Caution. If it gets any windier, we'll probably be plugging in another reef. David Kilmer driving up Fitzhugh Sound and a fair bit of breeze.
It's a good day to be a sailor.
Boat's fully reefed down. Nothing really critical is broken yet, which is nice. And yeah, it's been a pretty good day overall. A lot of load in the boat, but pretty good sailing. Beautiful sunshine.
And now here we are with full sail plan again. Just cruising down the highway, heading straight for the mark. It's a gorgeous spot. Happy to be alive. It's a good day to be a sailor. Everyone's getting caught up on their sleep, which is nice. And got a little ragged last night. Not so good. Started to have some type 2 fun. Now we're back to real fun again.
Dacron and Denham, I think it was, their rudder split. And we sailed by them. It took us into second place.
Get him, lads! Go get him!
Super nice on the VHF, super nice when we're going by. I mean, they were gonna try and hug beers over to us. It was a really good example of what this race is about. It's competitive, everybody's giving it their all, but everybody also is cheering everybody else on.
We got the sunset in Fitzhugh Sound. This is really one of the most beautiful places I've ever been.
Yeah.
John's on the tiller.
We just pulled into second place.
Sounds like we might be in second place, which is pretty rad. Now we've got perfect trimaran wind. Custom ordered for a trimaran. Close reaching. Doing looks like 12 knots right now. And gonna make the turn to Bella Bella before long. It's been a pretty good day.
Yum yum bag. Oh yeah. Yum yum bag's gonna go down. on our way to Bella Bella, and have every reason to believe at this point that at the end of the Llama Channel is not only the only mandatory waypoint along the race course, but also total consciousness. So we got that going for us. We were almost to Bella Bella, and it was a night watch, and I remember Dave and I were on watch, and there's humpbacks everywhere. And they're 30, 40 feet long. They're way bigger than the boat. These things are huge. They're all around us. And then the wolves start to howl. And we're sitting out there, and Dave leans over and looks at me. He's like, man, we are out there. I've seen whales and I've heard wolves, but I've never had that happen at the same time. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Today's Monday.
It's day 27. Freeze-dried rations have run out. Day 5. Clawed our way past Bella Bella this morning. The sun is coming up. Promising to be another beautiful day.
Can you see wherever you are, you'll always want me.
Yes. Oh, wow. Right? Look at this. That's as good as it gets right there. Wow.
Humpback whale right there. Whale.
Unreal. That just doesn't get old, especially for a bunch of sailors from Idaho. My old man used to say, Leo, you always run a little faster when you're being chased. And that's what I feel like right now. Thank you to David Cohen for showing me a key move for any single-hander, the ass drive.
The ass drive.
Ass drive.
It's a real thing. We're heading out into the notorious Hecate Straits, but today it is our biggest problem is we have no wind at all. So Johnny and I are on the pedal drives on morning watch. Johnny's using our new secret weapon so that he can drive, pedal, and navigate, all from the comfort of his carbon fiber chair.
It's my favorite line from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. No one's flying the plane!
Look at this sky. We're just surrounded by beautiful wild wonder. Where are we at here, Skipper?
We are going through Catala Passage on the tip of Price Island. Super pretty. Never seen this before, but I'm really glad we found it. Trying to cut miles off. We got to cover some distance before this weather shows up. You ready there, Jim? Okay, and tacking. Absolutely gorgeous day out here. Perfect sunny conditions. It's about the right amount of wind. And yeah, boat feels happy right now. So we're gonna try and get in some shelter before this builds up later and get as far north as we can.
All right, here we go with the tack. This gives you a little bit of an idea of what it sounds like inside of the boat as we go maneuver.
It sounds like the whole cabin top's gonna rip off the boat.
Yep. Oh, we're not done yet. Then they gotta tighten everything down. Oh.
Today has been sunny and windy, and we're beating to weather, as they say in the sailing world. Beating just means you're pounding upwind. It's the hardest thing to do in a sailboat is to go straight upwind, and that's what we've been doing all day, and it's looking like that's what we're going to be doing all the way to Ketchikan. We're still like 200 miles out, but making our way.
Working our way to the mouth of Principe Channel here, and things have got a little sporting. Making for DuPont Island there so we can take our tack. Get down the channel over here, which we're hoping will afford some more shelter from the wind and sea state. How's the helm feel there, John?
Pretty good. A lot of breeze.
A lot of breeze.
Yeah.
Not a lot of extra AMA above the water line.
Here we go. Big breeze.
We were in the south part of Principe Channel on the west side of Compania Island, and it was pretty hairy. There was really no margin for error. It was middle of the night, real rough, very isolated. Like I definitely had an awareness that like if something went wrong, we were potentially going to be in pretty big trouble.
We're probably a little over our heads where we're at right now. This is we have a goal, we have an out. We're making our way towards the out, but we're one failure, one log strike, one snapped line, one shackle somewhere breaking away from just badness. This is not where I want to be. This is not where we should be.
If I could have that back, we should have turned around. It just kept getting worse and worse, and we kept pushing and pushing.
And we finish it off by finally coming into the lee of this island and going through this little channel where all of a sudden everything settles down. It's in the middle of the night, and there's like, I can hear humpback whales breathing and surfacing around us. And the next morning you see them, and right after the low, there was a high. I kind of take that further into life with, you weather the lows, and then oftentimes, almost immediately afterwards, there can be a great high.
So we had a pretty interesting night. Turns out the F-27 can take a real pounding. But we managed to fight our way in Otter Channel and just sort of got in behind the rocks and reached back and forth for a couple hours until it got light. And now we're in a little bay that is not marked as an anchorage on the chart, but we felt our way in with the pedal drives and dropped anchor in about 6 feet, and seems to be holding. And it is incredibly beautiful. We're going to reevaluate, see if we can use the sat phone to get a weather report and decide if we're going right back out or if we're gonna give it a little bit of time. We'd hate to sit here, but we also don't want to break the boat or get anybody hurt. So, but in the meantime, this is one of the most beautiful anchorages I've ever been in.
I mean, we were worked our way into second place, and we were jacked. We were totally stoked on the thought of these steak knives, and we were just pumped. We were all very much trying to find any way to keep moving forward that we possibly could, because to stop and not move at that point was a really hard thing to swallow.
Gentlemen, I'd like to give a quick synopsis of our plan here.
Well, after 2 attempts to sail outside in a gale, or near gale, we have decided to try inside, way inside. We are attempting to go up the Grenville Channel. We're not really sure if this is a good idea or not.
We had found another anchorage on Finn Island that looked like it was gonna work. But we're on our way over there and we're like, let's go look at the Grenville Channel. You know, it's right here, let's go look at it. And it looked awesome.
When I don't see breakers.
Yeah.
It's sailing the Columbia River.
This could work. This could actually work.
Let's do it.
I will forever, I think if I hear the words Grenville Channel, I will think of like sailors of yore and like a siren or a mermaid. This beautiful thing that will kill you. I was so enchanted. As soon as I saw it, it was this like epic gorge, and it had all the wind, but no waves. I was lured in by the beauty of this thing and the potential. Like, hey, well, if this works, we pop out the other side and we are straight shot to Ketchikan. It's gonna put us in a great position. In sailing world, this is what we call taking a flyer, where you go the other way from the rest of the fleet. It's a big risk. You're either a hero or a zero. So it's kind of the way we roll, and it's also really the only way we can make progress towards Ketchikan right now. Our other option is to sit and wait this weather out, and that sucks. So we're not doing it. We're gonna go up a 45-mile, quarter-mile wide channel and probably do 100+ tacks, but we don't care. There's wind in here, and it's sunny, and it's beautiful. So off we go.
Took off the water last night. Normal. Nothing to be concerned about.
Nothing to see here. This is a standard shipboard procedure. Only a few gallons of salt water leaving the hull. It feels lighter already.
Yeah, the funny thing on this tack is probably helping.
Right. All right, we just completed tack number 5, tacking our way up the Grenville Channel, getting a little water out of the amas, and it's blowing like stink on the outside, and there's no way uphill. We've tried as many ways as we can, and so we're going again. The boys are intent on getting to Ketchikan one way or the other, so this is our next best move. Off we go.
Worried that this, what they call the ditch, was going to be this windless 40-mile passage, and we thought we would go up it because we had no other choice, and we were going to be pedaling, and that is not the case. It is, holy crap, it's blowing down.
When we first started up that, it was going really, really well.
The wind always blows either straight up or straight down the Grenville Channel because of the way the topography funnels it. And it narrows down in the middle, which I think acts like a venturi, so the wind just got stronger and stronger. We were reefed down all the way. We were still overpowered, and there was so much current against us that we were just literally going back and forth. We were doing 7 knots through the water, but the water was moving south fast enough that we were just turning at the same place in the bank every time.
And we're tacking and we're working hard, and we're like, this is what we do. We work hard. We're gonna keep going. Like, push, 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 right? No, wrong. And then it happened.
Me. Dave and I were down below, and all of a sudden we just heard a big cracking, tearing noise. The bulkhead, which provides most of the strength, is attached to the hole with this fiberglass tabbing. And we overstressed it, and the tabbing tore loose. This is supposed to be attached to the hole. I feel pretty confident we can get the boat back without inconveniencing any coasties or rescue personnel. We're gonna try and fix our own stupid mistake.
Team Dog Style Adventures has retired from the race.
Lively boat to drive. That's a good description of it.
We basically just crippled the boat to the point where we can't sail upwind, or even probably across the wind on a reach, unless it was very mild conditions, which it isn't.
We had done like 85 tacks, something ridiculous, to get to the point where the boat failed. We weren't even a third of the way up that channel. And we sailed out of there in under an hour. And we came popping out the other side with the broken boat. And I'm just sitting there, and here's the anchorage that we were all looking at, where we could have pulled in and slept for a period of time, let the weather pass and continue. We didn't. Even though we'd all talked about it, like, let's go in there and take a rest. Nobody really wanted to. I didn't want to stop. I was like, I don't want to rest. This is a race. Let's keep pushing. Let's try this spot. I remember Dave and I being like, well, let's just go take a look at it. Yeah. We went and took a look at it, and we saw this like beautiful, tempting siren, like, come this way. It was like a friggin' mirage in the desert. And we just went right into it. And it ended our race.
I'm confident it's gonna be fine. Worst case scenario, we're gonna keep an eye on the damage. And if it looks like we're approaching some sort of, catastrophic point, then everybody puts on dry suits and we get a hold of the Coast Guard.
It's very humbling. It's a humbling place to be a sailor, because you realize that despite every bit of preparation, this crew and this skipper and this boat is incredibly prepared for this race. I would challenge any other boat, any other skipper that showed up at that starting line to be as prepared as Gabe and Mohana were for this race. And still, the sea finds the weakness.
You don't know where the edge is. How do you know until you break it? Until you crash it, you don't know how hard you can push it. I've pushed this boat progressively harder and harder since I bought it, and it's always taken it. It's always taken it, and it's always gone faster. Didn't break the boat for bad luck. It was just poor judgment.
We came out here to raise awareness for the Dog Smile program, to try to help people understand what therapeutic sailing is and try to, use this spectacle as a way to get people to pay attention to what we're doing. And I think I'm getting a little dose of therapeutic sailing myself right now. And it's not that fun. It doesn't feel real good. But I know it's right. I know it's what I need, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful that I get the opportunity to have an experience that kicks my ass and makes me a better person. We came out here to have an adventure, and we got one.
It's a bummer. I wanted to get to catch a can.
I'm glad it failed where it did. I'm glad we didn't have, that breakage happen in the middle of the night before. It would have been pretty scary. The mood on Mohana at this point is pretty low, deflated. The air is out of the ball at this point. We were tired and grumpy. We pull into this anchorage, and there's the third place boat, anchored. And it was just like crushing to see that boat in there.
On our delivery back to Bella Bella, we found
What's that?
quite a nice anchorage for the night. There's the Budgie Smugglers.
So we pull in, anchor right near them, and here comes this dude in a wooden rowboat, and he's like the old man of the sea. He's got the beard, he's got the sweater, he's got a wooden dinghy. He's got a dinghy? And we're like, hey, Graham, do you know that you're in second place right now in this race? And he's like, oh, how are you? Just rolled off him. He didn't care. Isn't this a beautiful anchorage, he says? And none of us had even really, we're like, oh yeah, I guess so. And he's like, well, is there anything I can do for you? And we're like, well, in fact, we don't have enough cushions for everyone to sleep. He's like, oh, no problem, I'll bring you my cockpit cushions. We're like, Graham's got cockpit cushions on the race to Alaska and a wooden dinghy. And he's now in second place. And it's all just hitting us.
And after talking with us, like, oh yeah, you know, oh, you guys went where? Oh, it blows like a son of a bitch up there, don't it, boys? And you're like, yeah, it does. And so he rows back over with like cushions and a half a bottle of scotch.
This is what it looks like when all 4 sailors are off watch.
This was never supposed to happen. Decent night's sleep last night with some cushions we borrowed from our competition. Thank you, Budgie Smugglers.
Budgie Smugglers for the win.
I think next time I will, it'll absolutely still be a race, but I think I will, I'm gonna try to be more like the old man on Budgie Smugglers. I think I would put a little more emphasis on getting there next time and a little bit less on pushing as hard as possible.
We need to be more like Graham. Just his way was everything I want to be at any time. Just right there in the moment, not worried about the race, not worried about second, seeing some people right in front of him that could use a little love and having that to give. He did that for us. Took care of us, came back, got his cushions and his scotch, got on his boat, pulled the hook, and sailed up and got second place. And then I think it was Dave who was like, I bet Graham broke a couple boats in his day. Graham didn't wake up that way. He's earned that.
Lucky to be here. Looking forward to the next adventure with these boys. And grateful for this boat that brought us all these miles in one piece. So it's a lot to be happy about.
They don't call it go fast game for nothing.
Limping in the Bella Bella. Made it.
Goodbye, Alaska. We tried. What does it mean to succeed? What is success? What is that? Is it winning the race? Is it getting the steak knives? Is it coming home alive? You know, like where do you draw the line? And the reality is there isn't one. Like success is completely up to me. It's a choice. There was a period of time there where it felt like we had failed big time. That's not the truth. And we just had to get through that in order to see the real success, which was the experience. We went and did it, and we did it well. We went for it.
The biggest thing we were all looking for, I think, was to have an adventure, was to have a really unique experience, and that was you know, a over-the-top success, at least for me.
It was challenging, it was rewarding, it was a fantastic experience.
It was a complete success. I'm a better sailor now than I was before Race to Alaska. I'm a better friend now than I was before Race to Alaska. Those things matter to me. And I wouldn't be who I am right now had we not gone out there and not made it to Ketchikan. Which is a hard thing to chew on, but it's the truth.
I think, you know, it's easy to define success as like checking the thing off and doing it, but you know, you've been around long enough and you've had a few quote unquote failures along the way, and you know that success is really sort of in how you perceive the journey. We, on the media end, saw just this huge influx of new followers organically, and people coming to us because they had seen us on the Race to Alaska's page or another team's page, and it gave us that chance to tell our story on social to a whole new group of people who were really engaged. And we did see an influx of donations because of that, and we've seen a new audience that we've been able to get support from, and that's just awesome.
I'm still super proud of them. They rocked it. They did amazing.
Those guys and their drive and that tenacity is pretty inspiring. So I would say overall it was a success. And they're just gonna go back and do it again.
I absolutely want him to do it again.
Bet on them doing this again.